Hey, it's Joseph here. I want to show you several nifty tricks inside of Enscape to make your architectural presentation more believable. You can use geolocation feature of SketchUp to accurately show your shadows within your project. You can also include immediate project surroundings within your model by using Skybox that Enscape offers. And then you can drop down all the components for all the entourages within your scene. And if that becomes a bit too heavy, you can use proxies. And to bring a little bit of realism, you can bring up the bumps by using bump maps. And lastly, you can use sound feature of Enscape to include the ambient sound of that environment. And these will all together enhance the presentation experience. And let me show you how. So I had prepared an example model that we can use for this specific reason. And then this is what it looks like. I have a kitchen area inside here that I want to focus on. First of all, let's geolocate this model. If you go to File, Geolocation, and Add Location. So you want to find the area that your site is located in. I want it to be in Miami, so you can search that up. And this is where I intend this project to be. So right here, and select region, and just kind of make that smaller. Grab, and then your project will come into a position. And if you also go into Window, Extension Warehouse, and then if you search Solar North, and Solar North will come up, and then if you install that, a toolbar like this will show, and if you toggle on the north arrow, and it will confirm where your north is in relative to your project. My kitchen is supposed to be south facing, and that is correct. And if I go to the kitchen view, that you will see my terrain is spanning all the way there, and you can kind of see it in the horizon. So next thing is, if I go to the shadow tray, if I turn on the shadow, then you will see the shadow is casting that way, some leaves here and a branch here in the window there. Let's fire up Enscape and see how that looks like. So as long as you have geolocated your model as well as correctly orienting to a true north, then you'll be able to see correct shadowing of your project. And the sun angle will be exactly the same as SketchUp. And I would still be able to change time of the day by holding down Shift key and holding your right mouse button to go into different time of the day. However, you can also do the same inside of SketchUp, and whatever the changes that you do inside of SketchUp will be respected on Enscape as well. In this specific scene, I want to see the shadow of the foliage there. So if I just nudge it back by going into kitchen again, and you'll see the expected shadow there. So the next thing is the skybox. You can see how in my background, if I turn around a little bit there, that my background has the horizon there and some clouds there. Go back to SketchUp and open up Enscape settings. And if I go to atmosphere, my preset will be set to clear. And I can toggle this back and forth. If I go back to Enscape here, and if I toggle onto forest, and construction site, and town, and urban, and then white cubes, as well as white ground, you'll be able to see different effects. Perhaps you can go to forest and use this rotation slide bar to just kind of rotate to the area that you would like it to be. However, none of these kind of suit me, so I can load the skybox from a file as well. If I just click on that button, I'll be able to dedicate an image. You can get some 360 HDRI panorama from openfootage.net. However, there's only limited amount that's available. One solution that I have found is that if you go to svd360.istreetview.com, that you can go there and download the window version of the program, as well as after that go to istreetview.com and then search up the location that you want as a Google Street View. That location that I was interested in is here, and I can just click on this panorama ID button there, and I can copy that and run the program Street View Download 360. Just paste that ID here, as well as dedicate a location to save, and I can just save it to desktop there and download panorama. And once I do that, I'll have an image that looks like this, which I can use as a skybox. So if I load that onto Enscape, so make sure I click on atmosphere and click on that, and find that specific image, open, and then I'll be able to have an image on the background. So as soon as I load that image, if I go back to Enscape, you'll notice that my background has been changed to the skybox that I've dedicated. However, I can still see the horizon, therefore I'm just going to go back to SketchUp side and uncheck these to make sure that that is not shown there. And if I go back to Enscape, you'll see that that's been changed. I can also rotate the image slightly to suit my needs, and I'm just gonna park it there. And even if I move around, the image is gonna move in relative as well. So that's fine there. However, the things in the background is looking a bit too sharp, so I can reduce that by going general, and depth of field, I can increase that amount like so, and then things will be blurred out in the background, therefore it's not too distracting, and I can just focus on my kitchen more. Right now my kitchen is looking fine, however it's looking a bit empty, and this is when you should drop all the components that is available for SketchUp for you to use it as entourages. So first of all, let's go to SketchUp side, and when you want to drop a component, go to File, Import, and then Desktop. Make sure you got the Enscape file dedicated for it there, and I'm just gonna drop this bottles, import, and then when you place it, rotate them slightly so that it's not too aligned. And also you can bring in more by going File, same thing, Import and Pots, import, and then you will be able to drop it into place wherever you want it to be. And all of those changes will automatically appear on Enscape side, and everything has just come in as I edited inside of SketchUp. And finally, let me turn on the decoration layer to include all the entourages. And whilst setting up your entourages, one thing that you can keep in mind is not to line everything up. If you make everything too lined up, then you can make the scene a bit too artificial. So make sure when you're setting these scenes up, your entourages are slightly rotated. The slight randomness to your scene will make your project a bit more believable. So you can see my chairs are slightly pulled out and rotated, as well as these things are not exactly lining up. So that's what I have done, as well as I have placed people. So if I turn on the people layer, those people will come up. One thing about SketchUp is that they have something called Face Me, and even if you orbit around, those people will continue to look at you, and is the same on the Enscape side. So if you go to Enscape side, as you move around, those people will rotate and continue to look at you even though you change your position. So having people in your scene will help to feel the scale of the project, as well as just kind of the environment of the space. And the next thing is bump maps. So the bump map is using the difference between the darker and the lighter area to give a texture a bit more 3D-ness. If I zoom into this tile back here, you'll see that there's a light up here and a slight gloss onto the tile. However, it's looking a very flat tile. There's no difference between the grout or the tile itself is looking very smooth. And if I go to SketchUp itself again, then make sure go into Paint Bucket tool and then hold down Alt key and sample that material, and you'll see glass tile here. And if you go here and Enscape materials, and the dialog will show up and it will have the same sample material. Now if I go to bump map and texture and plus button here, and I'll be able to locate the same bump map tile 01, open, and once I open that, and it will come in as a 0 value. However, if I increase this value like so and go back to Enscape side, you'll see that slight undulation of a texture there. I can increase that by going back and increasing the amount, and you'll see that texture has been put in here. So that's how you would give the bump onto the texture so that it looks more believable. And then when you start to put all of these entourages within your scene, your SketchUp can kind of slow down because the model is so heavy. Your computer is having a hard time generating the scene for you. So you can use something called proxies inside of Enscape to help this out. And pots and plants are quite heavy often, therefore when you're orbiting and zooming in and out, your machine can struggle a bit. In this case, I want to use this one, so double click into the group that I want to edit. So highlight these pots and right click, save as external model for Enscape. I can certainly save that out onto pots and save. And once you do that, you'll notice that it has gone into just the boundary of a box. However, if I go back into Enscape and zoom back out into that area, you'll see that the pots are in the same place As another scenario, let's say you didn't have anything and you want to bring in a proxy into the scene. And inside of Enscape, you can see that the area is empty at the moment on the table. Go back to SketchUp, Enscape Objects, and then once the dialog shows up proxy, and I can select the item that I want, open, and then drop the boundary box in place. And if I go back to Enscape again, notice how the pots has come in. And the added benefit of this is that if you go open up that specific file, so double click this to just open inside of SketchUp. So as soon as you open the component, you can decide to modify this one. Perhaps I can move this back pot up to the front, somewhere there. And then if I go File, Save, and go back to the Enscape scene, you'll see that that has moved. That's not looking too comfortable, so let's move that over there. So if I go back here, move, and then onto the other side, then File, Save, and Enscape will automatically show the changes. Your SketchUp will struggle less because it doesn't have to render up those edges and faces as you zoom or orbit around. So lastly, this is something fun to play with, which is sound, and you can introduce a sound into your project using Enscape. And thankfully, Enscape has included some example sounds. You can locate restaurant crowd sound by going local disk, program files, Enscape, and example sounds. So go back to SketchUp side, and then you can locate Enscape Objects and sound source. Click on that one, and then you'll be able to drop the speaker shape onto this area here, and you can locate your sound source. If you want to use something other than these given, then you're welcome to do so. However, I'm going to use this restaurant crowd sound that's been provided by Enscape. Open, and you'll see the green area, which is dedicated, and you'll see the green circle as well as the red circle, which is the area where you will hear the sound inside of Enscape. First of all, lower the volume a little bit so you don't hear as much, and also decrease the area of the screens. Only around the table you'll start to hear the sound. You can confirm by first of all enabling the sound and go back to Enscape, and then if you go closer to the area, you will start to hear the sound, and then when you back out, the sound will go away. However, you might see a big speaker sign here because you haven't disabled the icon there. So if you go settings and advanced, and if this is checked, you will see a giant speaker within your scene, which is not really desired in my opinion. So you can uncheck that and then that will go away. However, the sound will remain enabled within your scene. So I have changed my scene with all of those tricks, and I'll just kind of pan around so you can kind of feel what that looks like. So that's it for today, and hopefully these will help you out making your presentation even greater and impress your clients. And if you have your own tip for reality boosting your presentation, then please leave it in a comment. And also, if you enjoy the content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to continue watching this type of videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye.